Hi, everyone. Welcome to an introduction to Kai, which is my professional freediving coaching system. Thank you for tuning in. It may be sort of a long video as the platform is quite large, but I wanted to show you guys the power of what it can do. Okay, when you log in for the first time upon a new registration, you're going to come to this first screen, and it's basically to either set up or start with a baseline profile, or you can add past dives. If you don't really have dives from a dive log, say you don't have a freediving watch, then you can start with the baseline profile. You can still use this entire platform without having a watch, but it is recommended. It's going to take much more metrics and analyze the graphs of your dive and really give you much better feedback. You can upload dive computer files, which I recommend. Suunto has the XML files, or Garmin has their FIT files that you would put in. You can actually take a screenshot of your phone, implement the screenshot into where it says upload dive log, and it'll actually analyze the screenshot and choose select files. I'm just going to choose a couple here, and then what you can do is you can click each one and you can write down some general information here, location, issue depth, mouthful depth, some notes and stuff. To add the dive logs, you can add more dives to strengthen analysis, but it's now processing those dive logs and analyzing them, and we can just send it to the chat. So we're going to go to the chat. I sort of switched account. This is my personal account that I'm using for my dives, so you guys can see as I have a lot of data already stored in here. So if you were to go to dive logs, you should see all those saved logs here and edit each log or each session. You can expand the dives here. But let's just take it as, say you didn't upload any log. You can come here and put in each dive log, and this is the best way to do it. And I always recommend starting with uploading the dive log first, because it'll fill out most of the information, or the simple information first. So this is based off, it creates a chart based off the XML information that you get from Suunto. This is a Suunto log. Does the exact same thing for the FIT log. For the images, it actually analyzes the metrics from the image. So it just works in a different way, but it'll analyze it as well. So, and it fills out this information. You can see total dive time, reach depth, target depth, right? So it makes things nice and easy. This was a dive, I believe, in Kaş, Turkey that I did. You can fill out equipment. So going into, let's take a look at this dive. What is it? This is a 100-meter dive. So for me, it's probably a constant weight dive. So let's go to monofin, nose clip. This is at the World Championships. So let's do 1.5 mil wetsuit. That's generally what I wore in Kaş. And I'm using Suunto D6i. You can go to warm up. Let's just put in a standard warm up. I don't remember about this dive, so I'm just going to sort of make things up here. Usually my hangs are around that time, waiting for first contraction, first urge to breathe. And then negative pressure dive or RV dive, exhale dive, I do one to around 30 meters. And then you can put any warm-up notes. Let's just say we had rough conditions, which made me feel tense on my warm-up. Mouthful depth, let's say 35 meters. General number there. Neutral buoyancy depth with packing, for me, I probably packed for this dive, it's about 15 meters there. Sink face, 30 meters. So issue at depth, say I had an issue at 75 meters. If you notice, it starts filling in these bullets, which is a pretty good feature. This would be on ascent. So if I say my legs start to burn 30 meters before reaching the surface, you got that there on ascent there. Okay, now I had equalization issues. Once you are done putting in the details of the actual dive and what went on, sort of the structure of the dive, then you would scroll down and you would go into sort of the enclosed process, or my issue analysis here. So I obviously had equalization issues. I swallowed a small portion of my mouthful at 75 meters, making me run out of air towards that 100-meter depth, just for instance, just for example. So I'm getting put equalization issues. I did have leg burn, so you can say that could be an issue, but when doing this, you want to map the issues that are actually affecting your dive, that you don't feel like you can progress because the leg burn is so intense. Or if the CO2, like I had contractions probably the last 80 meters all the way back up to the surface, but I have a very good CO2 tolerance because of all my years of teaching students. So I wouldn't necessarily say that would be an issue that would keep me from progressing. Now, if you're not progressing, I guarantee you it's one of these issues. So you want to try to answer this as much as possible. I generally do about 15 packs for a 100-meter dive. My lip color probably was around 6 or so coming up from those depths. I did breathe O2 to the surface after a deep dive like that. Now, since I had one issue here, I marked 1 minus face off the happy face here. No issues, happy face. I'm ready to progress. 1 issue, 2 issues, 3 issues, 4 issues. Yeah. Okay, so that's sort of how I handle the emojis there. And then the exit protocol. Target reached, surface protocol, clean dive, right? So now if you want to add another dive to your session, like when I go out and train, and I'm not doing a 100-meter dive, I would probably do multiple dives in a session so you can add a dive to this session, and the session will be analyzed differently than the single dive. So, but since I'm at the World Championships here and I just did 1 single dive, I'm going to remove that dive, and that's what I'm left with, just my single dive plus my warm-up and equipment. And then I'm going to update the session. Okay, it's going to save. It's going to take me back to my dive here that you see, 99 100-meter dive. Now, this right here where it says fuel D0, D1, this is your fuel and recovery. So if you click here, you can see I've mapped this out here. This is taking the night before, because the night before is actually more important than the day of if you're diving early in the morning. So it's taking both days, weeks, months. It's going to map all your nutrition. Obviously, I haven't been keeping up with it, but ideally you want to keep up with this. Okay, especially if you're elite freediver, because you're going to start seeing patterns. If you're sort of new or a beginner, may not be as important, but it's already logged in there. So from there, I can expand the dive. So if you had more than 1 dive, so did I put free immersion? Okay, so I'm going to analyze this dive. Okay, now when you analyze just the dive, it's going to analyze the metrics mainly for the dive. So it's not taking into consideration the warm-up or equipment, and it analyzes the metrics, right? You have descent rate, ascent rate, you have the ascent time, bottom time, whatever, meters per second, right? So it's mapping pretty much the metrics. Then if I want to, it'll map some issues as well. But if I want sort of an overview of the whole session and the possible issues and, the warm up, the equipment, everything that went into my session, multiple dives, I'm going to analyze the entire session. Oh, I'm analyzing the wrong dive. Okay, so let's go back. So I'm analyzing the session. There we go. A little bit more information, descent rate, ascent rate. I'm going to now analyze the session. So it actually had some good information, mouthfeel stability, focus on equalization timing. And then let's go ahead and analyze the session. So it takes a few seconds. It's processing, probably about 100 metrics on this, single session. and it's evaluating against my knowledge that I've put into it. So it's just not grabbing information from any unknown source. It's only grabbing the knowledge from what I put in. So, and you can see sleep quality, stress level, soreness, hydration, meals. So no professional freediving instructor or coach can possibly map what this is doing. And that's sort of the value of it. I mean, I can probably do it for a couple people, 3, 4 people or something like that. But this is like an at-home personal coach. If I coach people, usually I spend, an hour or two just learning about the structure and everything like that. Coaches now can connect to the athletes and they can evaluate all this information for the coach. Yeah, it's really amazing, but I'll be covering the coaching platform in a different video. But you can actually see it talks about my nutrition. It talks about different supplements that I'm taking in Duroxar 4, best recovery drink out there, pretty much. Dive reach, mouthfeel depth, issues that I may be having. If that isn't powerful enough, then you can analyze a whole window of dives. So you can batch process months of dives, weeks, days, dives, whatever you want. So, and I can analyze this window with pattern detection, with disciplines, safety analysis, performance review. Pattern detection is currently the most strongest at this point, so I'd recommend using that. And it will analyze the last, say, 10 dives that you did, and it'll start giving you more information. We talk about speed trends, recovery quality, fuel logs, depth performance, recovery quality, how well I'm recovering. So here's the month, right? Dives analyzed. I guess I did 15% of the dives. Equalization issues present 60% of the dives at around 75 meters, right? So obviously that's a problem I'm having with my dives, which that's pretty much where I cross over my residual volumes. I get a few stretch receptor contractions, and it causes me to swallow a little bit of my mouthfeel, right? So it just invaluable. So, and you can ask it questions. Can you compare the last 2 sessions? So you gotta wait for it to load. So, okay, that's quite an analysis. If I go into what are stretch receptor contractions, right there, could this be causing my swallow at 75 meters? Right, so you can talk to it about your dives. It has a memory. It's going to remember everything you do. Each user has its own memory. That's one of the most important parts of this is you want someone to, or it's difficult to remember all these little things, right? It's extremely difficult to go back through written logs and stuff. That's what I used to do. That's how I coached myself in my career, my freediving career, is I would go back over all my written logs, and that's how I sort of became my own coach, and that's how I started coaching the people pretty much around me. This does it all for you. It remembers what's going on with your dive. So if you want to build up a training plan tailored to the issues that you're having, you can put together a plan. So you can go into a session, you can go into environmental access, preferred days, time windows, off season or in season, right? You can go into certified, whether it's in competition, instructor overview. You can go into the focus of the depth plan and then any notes. I want to so, and then all you have to do is click generate plan, and it's going to take into account all the analysis that you just did it's going to go into this plan lens, and it's going to generate an entire plan based off all your issues or all your dives that you're doing, and set up an entire weekly plan for you. And you can keep track of your days. I don't believe in rest days. Okay, rest days, can be filled with meditation, stretching, going out for a recovery walk or easy run or something like that. So, and that'll help better recover you. So you can click these things and it'll start keeping you credible saves automatically. So how you felt, if you did not feel good. So don't take these emojis for granted. This is now mapping your emotional state to see if you're being overtrained or what. So, and it saves. You can see the done up here, and it actually keeps track of all your saved plans, so you can go back into other saved plans and stuff like that, so you never forget, right? So, yeah, and you can put your own notes in, anything you want, and this will actually go back into the brain, so back into Kai, and Kai will then take into consideration your weekly training plan when building up your next training plan for the following week. So the more information you put, the more you do, the more you focus on this, the more it has to map and really help coach you the best to its quality. It really will map everything that you want it to. And sorry, forgot to show you. So yes, your training plan is listed here. So it has training plans set up for you. One of the most important parts, right, is actually show you the training plans and what you are doing. So warm up, main set, drills, soft palate, glottis stability, mouthfeel retention, right? I have drills that I've put in throughout my career that have helped me get over certain issues and stuff like that. So it's going to give you drills. If you want to focus more on how to actually do the drills, the setup, execution, cues, everything, it's right there for you. Okay, so now let's go to save journals. So when you go to save journals here, this is really cool because this is sort of your personal journal. And what I want to do is, I don't want to keep going and reviewing all these analysis, everything that I'm doing. If I'm talking to the chat and learning information and everything, I don't want to have to scroll through a whole bunch of chat conversations to remember. So all you have to do is press Save Journal, and it's going to compress all your dives, all the analysis into an easy summarized journal for you to read. And that's basically what it's doing, generating a condensed journal. Put your emotional state. How did you feel? How are you feeling right now? Right? We are mapping this logic here. So not so good, or okay, better, whatever you want to put in. You can attach your dives. So if you want to write in a journal about what's going on, you can attach dives. It attaches the fuel and recovery. So when you save this information, you can put some notes and stuff, but when you save the entry, you're going to see it is going to open fuel and recovery for this date. So if it had, now this is a new date that I haven't mapped and stuff. So yeah, I mapped the day before, but not the day of, right? So but it will attach the fuel and recovery so that you can go back and click and be transferred right to the date, what you were eating and stuff like that, the sleep, recovery. So if you see positive results, you can go back and, what was I doing during that time? So when I'm diving in competition, I've had to relearn information like multiple times because it's difficult to go back and read my notes if they're not as detailed and as amazing as these. My own personal journal does not like this. This is a 10 steps above. So if I could go back and just go through this, man, I would spend hours on this. So that is the primary main platform. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope the instructors out there, the coaches out there, just as amazing this is, just wait for the instructor platform as I release the video, is now you can keep track of all your students' information, and you can actually go back and find patterns, issues. When I coach people, no 2 hour long evaluations of people, of what they're doing, the structure of their dives, and learning as much as I can so I can properly coach them. All you have to do is look at a summary and go out and coach them based off all their information. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this presentation of Kai Professional Freediving Coaching System. But this is a game changer for all freedivers in the world. And this actually adds an extra layer of safety for instructors and coaches as well, because if coaches can see if their students are diving unsafe or doing unsafe things, right, we're going to pick it up. So yeah, it is really going to change the world of safety, and hopefully we can get this into tracking people's dives in competitions and stuff to add an extra layer of safety in competitions. So thank you for tuning in. Once again, my name is Daniel Koval, creator, founder, builder of Kai Professional Freediving Coaching System. So thank you.